Hello, I'm Kristie Couser, curatorial assistant for Works on Paper at the Clark Art Institute. During last week's virtual preview of Lines from Life, French Drawings from the Diamond collection, I touched on some historical and technical themes explored in the exhibition. The drawings presented in Lines from Life span the 19th century and illustrate varied approaches to depicting the human form, from methods centered around rigorous study from the nude and modeled after classical art, to freer modes that challenge those conventions. Today, let's take a close look at two featured studies by Jean-Auguste Dominique Eng, a French artist who insisted on the importance of line and promoted the academic tradition in his teaching studio. As a student of the School of Fine Arts in Paris, Eng was trained to prepare numerous preliminary sketches and studies on paper for every figure that he intended to paint. In this drawing, Eng emphasizes the essential contours and mass of a bather wringing her luxuriant hair. The tight framing of the sheet calls attention to the pronounced harmonious curves of the woman's pose, and her stylized proportions, drawn in disregard for anatomical accuracy. The figure's smooth profile resembles the idealized beauty of antique statuary, rather than bearing the type of individualized features that would indicate the artist drew closely from life. Eng returned to the theme of bathers throughout his career, from his early Valpinçon bather from 1806 to his late Orientalist fantasy, The Turkish Bath, from 1862, both paintings in the Louvre's collection. This sensitive drawing of two embracing figures represents Eng's turn to the troubadour style, a trend in French history painting that emphasized characters and scenes of courtly love and chivalry culled from medieval and Renaissance sources. Perhaps this couple's pose evokes the trembling kiss shared by Paolo and Francesca, the illicit lovers condemned to hell in Dante's 14th century narrative poem, Divine Comedy. Eng depicted the ill-fated pair in at least 7 paintings completed between 1814 and 1819, a period following his state-funded residency at the French Academy in Rome. By that time, Eng had become prolific on paper as well. Primarily using finely sharpened graphite, he made precise linear portrait drawings for fellow artists, French officials, and tourists. Lines from Life also includes 2 portraits by brothers Hippolyte and Paul Flandrin, artists from Lyon, France, who first trained with Eng in Paris and later Rome, where their teacher directed the French Academy at the Villa Medici from 1835 to 1840. The Flandrins and their classmates displayed a devotion to their teacher with these informal graphite portraits, works that were exchanged within the studio as tokens of friendship. Thank you for joining me today. We look forward to welcoming you back to the Clark as soon as we can, but for now, let's meet back here at Clark Connects next week to sample some charcoal drawings that record the rhythms of contemporary life.